So I just want to say you're right on time, and as we wait for others to join in, I am staying cool as a cucumber with a little bit of Tulsi tea. That's sort of been my go-to for kind of any day stressors. I love it. It's an ancient plant that is used because it has great antioxidant qualities. Really helps to mitigate stress. The brand that I really love is this one right here. And I also even take it in a supplement form. So holy basil is its other name. And I just find that it almost immediately calms me down. So I'm drinking a little bit of that tea. And I'll invite you to also get your favorite blend of essential oils or a single note because we will be taking a moment just to really connect with the healing power of plants by doing some breath work. And if you'd like to be courageous, say hello, let us know your name, where you're tuning in from, and how you're feeling. And if you have any stress relieving techniques that you really recommend, because we'd love to hear from you. So I have many of my little plant friends with me here today, and I cannot wait to introduce you to them. And I think that we're probably good to get started. So welcome. If this is your first time joining in for a Facebook Live, I really appreciate you taking the time. If you're coming back, if you've attended one of these, we've been putting them on now for about 2 or 3 months, and it's our way of staying connected with you, which is so important to us. So my name is Linnette Carriere, in-house aromatherapist at Saje Natural Wellness, and I am a certified and registered aromatherapist as well as holistic nutritionist. And I have been just loving plant medicine for over 15 years, and I love that I have a chance to share that with you. So plant medicine and essential oils have been my go-to during these stressful times. It's what really keeps me grounded. And so today we're going to be talking about stress. And I am by far no expert on stress. However, I feel like I have literally tried all of the tools. And so I hope that I can share some of that with you today. Now, I do want to say that this time for us together should not be taken, as medical advice. It's really just for education. And please connect with a trusted health practitioner if you are experiencing a lot of stress. I know a lot of us are right now, so it's important for me to let you know that there are resources out there for you and to please reach out. So I just want to again invite you to feel free to comment below, share your thoughts on some of the questions that we're going to go through today. We are all in this together, my friends, and I think that we can all learn from each other. So my very first question for you, and again, feel free to comment in the section below, but is anyone feeling a wee bit stressed lately? How does it show up for you? I know for me, it can get to be like a little bit of a twitch in my eye. And if you're wondering if you're feeling a bit stressed, just take a moment and feel this muscle right here. This is your trapezius muscle. Now, what it should feel like is kind of like a stiffer pillow. But if you're like me, it is very much like a brick right now. And so if you're feeling that way, chances are you're experiencing a bit of stress. So what is stress? I mean, simply explained, this is a chemical reaction that takes place in our bodies when we are in a state of imbalance. And it's meant to kickstart the body back into action, but it seems like more and more we are living in the state of fight and flight instead of rest and renew. Now, I don't want to stress you out by getting into the mechanics of stress, but more so how we choose to deal with it. So I look at it this way. Every day I have a choice to take a step closer to good health. And sometimes, I don't always choose to do that. But we always have a chance to take a step closer to good health with the foods that we eat, with what we are drinking, and how we choose to deal with stress. So oxidative stress comes from what we put on our body, what we put in our body, and how we perceive our environment. And when we choose to eat clean, healthy foods, oxidative stress is reduced because it's easier for our bodies to process that clean food. But I hear you. It is tough because we are living in such stressful times right now. And it is so easy for me to get into stress eating or even perhaps indulging in cocktails. And that's okay too. But if we can at least practice the 80-20 rule of life, this is where we know that we're getting probably the most balance. So 80% of the time we're choosing clean food, drinks that are good for our body and de-stressing techniques. And 20% of the time we're getting into that indulgent food and not feeling bad about it. So again, getting into balance. So when you adapt to living with stress chronically is when it becomes a serious problem, but there are solutions. And sometimes it's just really those little wee things that you do that can kind of snap you back into healthier ways of dealing with stress. So for those of you watching right now, how are you really dealing with stress? And I'd love for you to share in the comments section. So I'll share vulnerably, I haven't always chosen, healthy ways of dealing with stress. But this year I replaced my martini glass with really healthy stress coping mechanisms. And I've been finding that they are exactly what I need to succeed, especially during these difficult times. So these are the things that I want to share with you today. So let's just start by grounding ourselves, and we're going to do a little bit of breath work, which should set the mood. So I really believe that the heart resonates and that essential oils are here as a gift for us to lift our spirits. Now, some of the best known oils that help to resonate with the hearts are florals. I always think of, women getting married holding their bouquet of flowers. It's so close to the heart. That helps me remember that it's always the florals that are good for the heart. And so today I'm going to be tapping into a few florals with an incredible blend called Goddess. And Goddess has 3 essential oils that I want to tell you about. So one of them is jasmine, and jasmine is known as the queen of the night. So it's called this because it is an aphrodisiac, but also because in Indonesia, where these little wee flowers grow, they need to be picked in between 3 and 5 a.m. before that hot Indonesian sun comes out. So it's called the queen of the night. The next flower is ylang-ylang, and I'll never forget the feeling I got when I was surrounded by a ylang-ylang bush, and I picked one of the flowers and I put it in my room, and the entire room was just emanating with this euphoric flower, and I just felt warm all around. The next flower is the queen of all essential oils, and that is rose. And I believe that rose vibrates at the highest vibrational frequency. And so when you're feeling low, it really, really helps to lift you up. So all 3 of these are contained in our Goddess roll-on. Now today we're going to be trying a different way of applying, or maybe it's not different for you. So we are going to be putting a little bit just on your forehead in between your eyebrows right here. Now I just am wanting to make sure, can everyone hear me okay? I will up the volume. All right. So hopefully you can. Let me know if you can. So apply a little bit of your favorite blend, or you can even use a single note as long as it's based in a carrier oil. That's what you want. You don't want to be putting any essential oils on the skin neat. And so the breath exercise that we're going to be doing is from someone that I really, really care about deeply. Her name's Guru Jagat, and this is called the Victory Breath. So what we're going to be doing, and I'll just explain it to you first. So we're going to take a deep breath in. I'm going to get you to close your eyes and just hold the breath. As we do that, I'd like for you to put your tongue on the tip of, or the tip of the tongue on the roof of your mouth. And as you do so, I want you to just think of the word victory over and over again. Just something about that word. I don't use it often, but it always makes me feel like I'm winning. So as you do that, just chant in your head victory, and then we will release the breath. All right? So as you're smelling these beautiful florals come off your forehead, I will get you to get your feet firmly planted on the ground. Just get really nice and comfortable in your seat. And we're going to take a deep breath in. Just close your eyes. Hold the breath, tip of the tongue on the roof of the mouth, and hold, and just keep repeating victory in your thoughts. Victory. And then exhale. So again, we will take another deep breath in. Hold the breath, saying victory, reminding your whole system of this reality, and exhale. And another deep breath in. Hold the breath, sit up tall, and exhale. So you can change your whole field of energy in just a moment. So mentally, physically, and emotionally in just a few seconds. It's just the simple act of taking a few breaths that can really help to completely change the way you're dealing with stress. And I know sometimes in the moment it's tough to remember that, but I'm here to remind you. So I have another question for you. Have you been doing meditations? Have you been successfully able to get your mind to quiet and get into meditation? And if so, what blends are you using, or what essential oils? Feel free to add in the comment section below. So a couple of weeks back, we reached out and asked you, our community, what do you want to know about stress? And so we got a few questions, and we are going to go over a few of them today. So our first one is, what oils can I use for stress? Well, I try to remember that, comfort is just a sniff away. And essential oils and aromatherapy can offer so much emotional support and lessen some of the really uncomfortable sensations that stress causes in the body. For example, like that neck and shoulder tension that we talked about earlier, as well as that tightness in your chest, and even that feeling where you just can't seem to get a breath in deep enough. So research shows that several essential oils can be used to support. So let's first discuss what essential oils are, and then I'll show you a few of my favorite friends that are right over here. So essential oils are made up of plant molecules that are highly volatile. And these complex chemical structures are created in nature, and they're found in herbs, flowering heads, petals, peels, barks, all sorts of different plant matter. Essential oils are known to be the life force of the plant, and one method we use to extract them is through steam distillation, and then the final product that we get is the plant medicine, and that's what's in these little bottles, living plant medicine, or the essential oil. So the molecules that make up essential oil are so small and they evaporate very easily. And when you smell them, they enter in the nose and affect a part of the brain called the limbic system. Now these molecules will send messages throughout the body via hormones, and chemical reactions occur. And so the first plant that we are going to be discussing is probably not new in your life, but it is so absolutely incredible. It is called chamomile romaine, and we're going to learn a little bit of Latin today, friends. So if you want to join in, the Latin name of chamomile is Anthemis nobilis. So we can say that together. Anthemis nobilis. Great. So chamomile actually comes from two Greek words. One is meaning close to the ground, and the other is apple-like. And this beautiful daisy-like flower is very apple-esque. It smells wonderful. It grows in Western Europe and kind of comes up at this time of the season. I've just planted some in a plot, my little garden, so I'm hoping to see it come up soon. And it is really widely known for its ability to calm the mind and soothe nerves. Now, full disclosure, I am going to put this up to the camera a little closer. This isn't actually chamomile, but I really wanted to show you chamomile so very bad. And this is a little flower that grows all along grassy knolls of Vancouver. I think it's a weed, but I love it. And I love to put a little bundle of it right next to my bed and have some chamomile in my diffuser, and I pretend that it's chamomile. It looks very much like chamomile, except that the little petals are a little bit more rounded. But I did want to give you the experience of seeing kind of what chamomile looks like. So that is a favorite friend. And very soon I'm going to show you a little chamomile cloth technique. So I'm excited to see if you want to try that with me later. Our next oil that we're going to be talking about is so hot right now. So hot, in fact, that we just give it, a short name, and that is frank. And I'm referring to frankincense. So frankincense is an absolutely incredible essential oil. Its Latin name is Boswellia freriana. So you can say that with me, Boswellia freriana. That's how I say it. This is one of the species of Boswellia that we hold in the single note bottles at Saje, but there are many within the species. So the tree that we get this resin from originates in the Middle East, and the resin has been used since Egyptian times for everything from beautiful skin to perfume and even in the embalming process. Now today it's used in aromatherapy to really help soothe digestive discomfort, headaches, sore throats, and muscular aches and pains. We also use it to bring peace and balance and encourage a meditative state. So when the tree is, when we gather the sap, the tree has these little triangle shapes that are tapped into the bark, and it oozes the sap. And I actually have some right here that I'd love to show you. So this is actually frankincense, and you can see it's kind of a firm tree sap. And then what we do is we steam distill this down into liquid form, and we bottle it into the essential oil that you know of. And it just smells absolutely amazing. So I'm going to teach you another little spa technique later to come on ways that you can use frankincense for your skincare. Now our next plant is called geranium, and I have a beautiful geranium here. Now you may be thinking this looks a lot different than the geranium that maybe you have planted, and you're right, actually this is the scented geranium. So geranium, the Latin name is, and we're going to take this one slow, it's called Pelargonium graveolens. So Pelargonium graveolens. And there are over 200 species of geranium, but this is the one that gives us that aromatic liquid. So the leaves are covered with a delicate hair-like feel, and when you rub that, you get some of that aromatic liquid on your fingers. So this species actually comes from the Reunion Islands, and it's really known to soothe our inner child and promote a sense of peace. And I'll give you a really nice, good look at it. Beautiful, isn't it? So these are some of my favorite single notes. Now we certainly have many incredible blends that are specially formulated to put directly on your skin at Saje, and they actually feature two of the essential oils we've just gone over. So one of my favorites is Unwind, and this is just sort of for everyday. I even like it as a personal fragrance, and that one features geranium in it. Another one that's a little bit more action packed is Stress Release, which is another go to of mine. This one is more for kind of the wide spectrum of stress and when you really need to take that deep breath in. And this one features not only chamomile but geranium as well as many essential oils like orange and vetiver. So one of the ways that I've been using single notes that's a little bit different these days is I have my face mask that I'm wearing every time I leave my home. And so one thing that I have been doing is just adding a little drop on the base of the mask. And when I put it on, I just feel a lot more grounded, a lot more safe, and actually I've noticed that people even comment of how good it smells. So I feel like I'm getting the benefits and sharing that with other people. So I'll invite you to give that a try. It also really encourages me to wear the mask because I don't know about you, but they are really not that much fun to wear, but I feel very protected. All right, friends, should we get into another question? All right. So our next question is, what does citrus do for you? Well, that's a great question, and there's so many citrus out there, but there's one citrus that gets a lot of attention, and that is orange, and it's been studied for its effects on anxiety. So I'd really like to tap into orange and give you some research as well as some fun facts that you may not have known about orange. So I've got a nice juicy one right here. So orange is known as Citrus aurantium dulcis. Does that just like roll off your tongue? So let's say that together. Citrus aurantium dulcis. Great. So this is a top note. It's found in many of our blends at Sage because of all the incredible benefits that it has. The essential oil is actually sourced from the peel of the fruit, which we cold express, and it's really known for its sweet and soothing properties. Now in Canada, we actually have our orange essential oil licensed with Health Canada, and it's known and it's licensed for to help restlessness and soothe insomnia due to stress and nervousness. So some of the spiritual aspects about orange that maybe you're new to is that orange really helps to reduce self-doubt. It also really helps to release fear of the unknown by encouraging one to face new challenges. And it also helps to motivate the spirit when we're feeling bored or tired. So lovely. So some fun facts about orange that you may not have known about is orange is actually a berry. So 3,000 years of cultivation has turned what was originally a bitter berry into the sweet one that we know today. Now the orange tree was very interesting. It actually offers us 3 essential oils. So one we know from the fruit peel. The other is actually from the beautiful flower blossom that comes off of the tree, and this is called neroli. The other one is from the twigs and the leaves, and this one is called petitgrain. And we learned this in school several years ago that when these 3 oils from the same tree are combined, this is supposed to be an elixir for lifting your mood. So I'll invite you to give that a try if you're interested. Another little fun fact about orange is that 80% of oranges are used or they're grown for their juice, and then all the peels go to the aromatherapy industry used for essential oils. So 2 studies I want to share with you about orange that I find really interesting, and we will add these in the comments section below, is one was orange was used with women during labor, and it really showed to not only de-stress their anxiety, but also their tension. And the other study was used with children. So the effective aromatherapy with orange essential oils was tested on the salivary cortisol levels and pulse rates in children during dental treatment. And what was shown was that the children really calmed and relaxed, so much so that their pulse had actually diminished, and that they showed less stress and were quite relaxed. So those are two really great studies that you can take a look at to show how incredible orange is. All right, this next question I love, and we have touched on this before, but this next question is, are there any essential oils that help with reducing stress that are safe for pregnancy? So great question. The answer is yes. And while pregnant, women are really limited to what they can use. And I think that's why so many people look to aromatherapy to help. So there are definitely certain oils to avoid, and there are many that you can still use. So in the first trimester, we suggest that it's best to avoid oils as there's so many changes that are already happening in the body. Now after that, a 1% dilution for topical use is recommended, and we have many blends for the diffuser and also for your aromatherapy necklace. So this is kind of my go-to gift. So it's just a beautiful little crystal, really helps to energize the essential oils. You open it up, and it comes with little cotton pieces that you can saturate with an essential oil, and then you can smell the benefits. So I love giving this gift to friends or women who I know that are pregnant, because this is something that they can wear and tap into at any time. So the blend that we actually used earlier on our Foreheads Goddess, this is kind of our go-to blend for pregnancy, and we actually also have it in a bath salt, a body lotion, as well as a diffuser blend. And we are going to add a few more blends that you could use as well that are perfectly safe, just in the comments section below. So Bliss, we have Daydream, also safe for while breastfeeding. We have Escape, Goddess, Present Moment, and Yoga. And we're also going to include one of our blog pieces that really gets in depth with this question, and it's called Celebrating the Gift of Motherhood. So tune in and check that out. So our next question is, what are some quick de-stress rituals that I can try? So I have so many, but I have narrowed it down to my top 4 that I hope that you can try, and I hope that you enjoy them. So one of them is, I like to call them cool or warm chamomile cloths, because that's just what they are. So I grew up getting to help my mom prepare for facials, which she would host with women to discuss their skincare routines. And one of the things that I got to do was prepare the warm face cloths. This was back before microwaves existed, so we would just wrap them in foil, and I would put them in the oven and bring them out. And now they weren't infused with beautiful chamomile then, but that's certainly what I do now. And this is something that you can, do for the entire family. I don't think anyone would turn away one of these glorious cloths. Depending on the time of season, it's still spring here and still a little bit chilly, so I like them nice and warm. So what you will do is, I just have a good sturdy bowl, and I would add 1 or 2 drops of chamomile in here, top it up with warm water or even hot, not too hot, and then you put in your face cloths, submerge them, get them all nice and warm. You can also do this cold, keep them in the fridge and then pull them out. If you ever get hot under the collar, pull one out, and that is a really, really nice way to kind of calm things down. But you just want to take one of them, and what I do is, if I'm watching a program, I will just sit back and keep the cloth on my head. You can put it on your neck, just wipe your hands with it, and you get this beautiful aroma of chamomile. And this is really also good for this time of the year, because if you're someone who suffers with seasonal allergies, chamomile is also really known to help support, calming any kind of skin irritations, mucous membranes like the nose and the eyes. And it's just so, so nice. So don't worry about flying first class anymore. You can have your own towel service now at home. So my next little stress relieving technique that I like to practice, and I don't do it as much as I've been doing it a lot more than I ever have, but it is a steam and 2-minute massage. So this is a little steam session that really helps to open up the senses. It really mists your mood away. I like to add a little bit of essential oil to the bowl. And then what I do is I actually add a little bit of hot water to the bowl. And I've got some right here. And so you're just going to add that hot water to the bowl. A couple of drops of pure essential oil. I really like eucalyptus and lavender. That's kind of my go-to. And then what you'll do is you'll just put a towel over your head and breathe that in. So it's just going to open up all of your pores, breathing deeper. It's actually going to create a whole spa feel in your home, which I, absolutely love. And you can't help but smile after a good steam. Now, after that, you don't want, stress to show up on your skin. So that's when you can apply a little bit of a carrier oil. So I just have a little bit of olive oil. That's what I have in the kitchen right now. Olive oil is good for normal to drier skin types. Coconut oil, I would say, is a little bit more for those that are more hydrated. But I would just add a little bit of my frankincense, rose, geranium essential oil. All three are good, just a drop of each. And then what you would do is you take a little bit of this in your hands, and while your pores are still open, just from the chest, working your way up, you want to massage that into your skin. And no one will ever know that you're feeling stressed out, because you're just going to be glowing and looking amazing. Now at Sage, we also have some beautiful elixirs that are already prepared with these essential oils in it. If you haven't checked those out, they're not only a treatment, but a great way to moisturize the skin. Now my next little tip is a good old-fashioned foot soak, but I'm also going to teach you a pressure point technique. So you probably have already heard me talk about how much I love a good foot bath. I am a true believer that water is so healing, and just if you can just get in there, it washes everything away. So it was Hippocrates that said that the way to health is to have an aromatic and scented massage every day. Brilliant man. Just know that you don't have to fill an entire tub as well. You can try a shallow bath if you're not much of a soaker. And just the act of getting into that warmth is renewing and has the ability to cleanse the body, mind, and spirit. And one of my favorite salts is tranquility. And that itself has so many benefits. Our salts are filled with magnesium in it, which are known to reduce pain in the body. It helps with a deeper state of rest and just like deep R&R. So something that you can also try if you're not into a bath is just like a good old-fashioned foot bath. I've got a really nice bucket that I keep close by with a bath towel and extra towels, and I just set that up while I'm watching something, and I'm not only detoxing, but I'm feeling really great. So along with that, I want to give you a pressure point tip here. So this point that I'm going to show you is a sacred point in traditional Chinese medicine. And if you've ever had acupuncture, maybe you've had it before. So this point in the body really helps to support with pain, supports muscles in the face, and moves energy through the body. And when I just cannot seem to kick a negative thought, I try it out, and I find that it really, really helps me. I add a little bit of peppermint halo, and I'm going to show you how to find the spot. So you want to run your finger up your index finger. And before you hit your thumb, you kind of have this nice indentation here. Even if you kind of put your thumb close, you'll see that there's a bit of a bulge. It's the top part of the bulge. And you just want to give that a massage with peppermint halo. And that almost instantly helps to calm me. So in TCM, this is called Hegu. And this is a large intestine point, but it really affects all parts of the body and pain. So give that a try. Now, my final point is one related to nutrition, because I love to share a little bit about nutrition as a holistic nutritionist. So when I'm under stress, along with aromatherapy, I use this other tool that really is brain food. So along with eating clean, I increase some of my essential supplements, and this has really helped me curb things like sugar cravings, foggy thoughts, as well as just like low energy. It really helps to boost me up. So I don't always do this, but I'm doing it right now. So my trifecta that I recommend, and you can check in with your healthcare practitioner to see if this is right for you, but really, really simple. One is omega oils. So a really high quality, like a sea algae or an evening primrose, which is great for women, is really great brain food. That's just going to stimulate your mind. The next is a very good quality B vitamin. B vitamins are often depleted when we're stressed, so we need more of them. The third is a probiotic. And that probiotic, I'm going to give you 3 tips on what to look for when you're looking for a good quality probiotic. So one of them is human strain. The other is that it's enteric-coated. And the last is that you're looking for a 50 billion plus strain. So that enteric-coated is actually making sure that it enters the small intestine where you want that good bacteria to be released. And the reason why I recommend this is they kind of all work synergistically together for stress, but we already know we have so much good bacteria in our gut. So it's really important to keep feeding that good bacteria. And again, that'll balance, days when you are feeling quite a bit more stressed, or even days where, you may not have eaten the right food. So give that a try. And just remember that it's just like those simple little things, that little moment that you take that really will shake up your wellness routine and completely change the way you deal with stress. So I hope that helps. So our next question, and we try to, end our sessions to give you some resources. So this one came in. What are some resources that you would recommend? Well, one, before I get into ours, I want to remind you that if you haven't, taken a look out there, there are so many incredible people on the World Wide Web that are offering their talents for free for us to de-stress. So if you haven't already, check out a free workout. There's also yoga. There's courses that you can take. And one that I really love is meditation. I love a good guided meditation. And one of our lovely team members, her name is Rachel, she is offering up her time and her big loving heart to us and giving us meditation. So we will also provide you a link if you want to try those out, and I highly recommend Rachel's meditation. So we also have some really great resources here at Sage. So one of them is blog content. So we have several pieces, which I know Fanny will include for you in the comment section. But one of them that I absolutely love is how to manage stress with essential oils. We also have an incredible podcast called When to Let Go, and it's about chronic stress. It's definitely a must listen. And one of the books that I wanted to leave you with today is called The Blossoming Heart. And this one is a favorite of mine. I do really love it. It's by Dr. Robbie Zeck. And what she is guiding you through here is more like the spiritual aspects of essential oils. So when you open up a page and you take a look at an essential oil, she will give you a quote. She'll also talk a little bit more about the spiritual aspects. And then she asks you some really great questions that you can kind of unpack, in your own time. So things that you can ask yourself. And then there is a beautiful affirmation just at the bottom of each page. So I have really been enjoying this book for several years. And what I have been doing is I will focus on, say, one essential oil. I'll use it on my mask. I'll write down the affirmation, and then I'll just review the affirmation often just to kind of stay connected with that oil. So give that a try. And just before we go, I hope you found this helpful. And if you did, please pass this along to someone that you know who may need some stress relieving support. And please, please, please stay connected with friends, with family, and definitely with us here at Sage. You can always reach out with any questions at hello@sage.com. You can also reach us here on social media. And we have our virtual wellness appointments where you can speak one-on-one with one of our expert team members. So for any serious stress issues, please reach out to a trusted healthcare practitioner. We're also going to add a link below for some mental health resources. And we're wishing you well, friends. You're doing great. And just remember, just taking that little step every day will help support your stress. So sending you lots of love from the entire Sage family, and be well, my friends. Thanks for joining me today.